Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the career and financial energy for the sign of Aquarius for the month of September. Now, do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Had a bit of an issue shuffling there, but you did have the Knight of Wands pop out. We'll take note of that and see if it comes back in, but I am using the Gilded Tarot, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, so we did not get the Knight of Wands, but that's all right. Some of you definitely do have some movement here, despite that, but I'll talk about that more as we go along. Let me make sure we're all set up and in view. We'll go ahead and take 3 of these Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. All right, I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Knight of Wands. So this can be an invitation in your career. We could call it a career invitation. So obviously this could mean, this is the biggest card to find if you're looking for a job offer. If you've been firing off applications, dusting off your resume, like this is the card you want to see for sure, because this can be an offer. Suit of Wands is the suit of career, work, enterprise, things like that. It's also the energy of energy, inspiration, passion, creativity. And yeah, so I definitely like that. Now the other thing is the Page of Wands could just talk about good news arriving in your life as well. Could be a fire sign, somebody that you may work with. A page card is a court card, which means it could show up as a person in your life. You do have 2 people here in the corners, and so you could have someone who's in your corner, so to speak, maybe somebody who goes to bat for you, or you go to bat for somebody. I definitely like the Wands action here with the King of Wands, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, Page of Wands. Definitely like that action going on. And then you do have some movement here with the Chariot. Remember, we had that Knight of Wands that popped out at the beginning of the reading as well. That's a card that indicates movement, so can the Chariot. And so it is possible that some of you are making movement in this month on your career. But let's go ahead and let's get some additional messages here. So in the overall situation, you do have this 4 of Cups. This is somebody who's potentially reflecting on their life. They're in a period of reflection, of contemplation. Now we are in this Mercury retrograde for the majority of September. And so it's a really good time to reflect, to reintegrate, to reconsider, to retry, to something, right? It's a good, anything with that starts with is a really good, it's a really good time to do those sorts of things. I don't know, I'm trying to, there's a bunch of them. Those are the ones that are coming into my mind. But as it's a Mercury retrograde, it's a good time to do those types of things. Reflect. And, you know, I think that some of you are maybe doing that. Like you're reflecting on your career, you're reflecting on maybe opportunities that you're hoping to find, or opportunities that may have come in or that may come in this month. Now I do see multiple opportunities here. We talked about the Page of Wands could be a career invitation, but if you take a look here, this is actually the universe. You see the hand. This is actually the universe offering this person an alternative solution or an alternative opportunity. And so we actually see at least two opportunities here with the Page of Wands, but then we also have this 2 of Wands. With the Page of Wands and the 4 of Cups, both can indicate opportunities. The 2 of Wands is like needing to choose between, door number 1 or door number 2 type deal. And so it is, I think some of you may like literally have 2 opportunities here, especially because you have this 2 of Pentacles as well. Now in the past, you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the Chariot, and you also have the King of Wands. So like I said, you've got some people in your corner here. I definitely am not getting a negative energy about these people. I definitely feel like, each one of these court cards could be showing up. It could be a quality of yourself, although we are looking at air signs right now, right? Aquarius, air sign, which would be a sword. But they could also be, in this example, the people attached to the opportunities, the two opportunities that you see here, right? Door number one, door number two, and you see that choice here with the Two of Wands showing up. And so this could be the hiring managers, this could be the bosses that you may work under, or you know what I'm saying, could be the HR departments, like those types of entities could be showing up here in the two court cards. And I do think that the people associated with the opportunities are very important to you. And what I mean by that is, it's almost like maybe one job comes with an extra perk, but you have a better feeling about the other job that doesn't come with the extra perk, because the other job has what you estimate to be people who are more in alignment with you. And so I think in making your decision, you're really going to consider the people that show up. Now, the King of Wands is a really classic entrepreneurship card. I do wonder if some of you are thinking about that. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is practical and smart with their money. This is somebody who, they don't spend lavishly. They much prefer to invest their money or save their money, and they're very good at that. And so some of you could be taking on those qualities about yourself as well in this month. You have this Chariot card, which the Chariot is all about charging forward to victory. It is a card that indicates self-discipline that leads to a major victory in your life. And it's this idea that you can overcome any obstacle when you get the Chariot, but it's also movement. And like I said, I do feel like there's some movement here for you. I think some of you are getting a move on, if you will, on a choice, a decision. There's clearly a decision here, I think literally between two options. In the current situation, you have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Cups, and also the Death card. So the Death card is, some of you may look at this and be afraid, but it's really, you really shouldn't be afraid of any of these tarot cards. Tarot is just here to kind of help you, guide you on your path. It's not the end all be all. And the thing about the Death card is, and then number two, one card never makes a reading. You have an overwhelmingly positive reading here. The Death card really just talks about transformation. If you look up the card, it's actually a positive card because it says that you're ready to go from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And along with that, you could be ready to sort of dive deep into something. The Death card is the energy of Scorpio. Scorpio is the best sign for digging deep within something, uncovering, being a detective, diving deep on a subject or into a situation, going and finding what is under the surface. And so, I think some of you here are really discovering. I think some of you are kind of putting your detective hat on and saying like, okay, door number one has this, door number two has this, that, and this, but then door number one also comes with that. And I think some of you are kind of really taking a practical approach to this decision or this choice that you have to make in your career. And I think you're doing that in part because you know that the door you walk through will lead to a big transformation in your life. It will take you down the next sort of course or path in your journey as a professional or as an employee or in your career or in your financial life. You do have this Ace of Swords here as well. The Ace of Swords is all about victory in your life that leads to a new beginning. This can feel like the clouds are clearing in the background, making way for something new. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a really amazing energy when you get the Ace of Swords. It can bring clear communication, clear thought process as well. It is a card of your thought process kind of opening up. And yeah, this can also be a card of just victory of truth, connecting to the truth. And so, I think you're walking down your true path at this time. You're not necessarily doing something for other people, which is always a good idea. But I definitely think with that Ace of Swords, this is heavy on your mind. But I also think that you're kind of, you're considering the practical aspect of all of this with the Queen of Pentacles next to it. So yeah. In the future, you have the Two of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands, and you have the Two of Wands. So some repeating numbers here, 2 twos, and in the corners, and then 2 wands as well. So the corners really help lay out the context of the reading. We actually have 2 pentacles in the corner and 2 wands in the corners. Then we have 2 twos, 2 court cards, And so I've been talking about two choices. Okay, so this is just kind of confirmation after confirmation here that I think many of you are literally at a crossroads. You can see that this person is at a fork in the road. I always like to remind you that the worst thing you could do is stay at the fork, right? And many people will choose to stay at the fork. And the reason being is because they are afraid. And so the truth is that everything in life comes with a risk. And you'll never know what the outcome of your choice will be until you actually make the choice. But taking the safe play or the safe approach where you don't grow is not going to serve you well in this instance, right? And so I would say, it's always a good idea to try to get comfortable doing uncomfortable things. The more uncomfortable things that you do, the more comfortable they will become. That's what I feel like telling you. This Two of Wands is a card of research, planning, and discovery, especially with the Death card here. Remember, you diving deep, looking into a subject, looking into a situation. You have this Three of Wands, which is about growth, expansion, opportunity. The Two of Wands, you build the research, you plan something out. The Three of Wands takes all of the research that you use to build, to plan, to discover from the Two of Wands, and the Three of Wands takes all of that information you've gathered and they use it to create an initial win. The Three of Wands is a small win that eventually builds up to big wins over time, but it starts with discovery, it starts with planning, and then you can see how that would kind of percolate into something even bigger. Three of Wands is about growth, expansion, opportunity on the horizon. It is a card of travel. You have at least two cards of travel here, plus the Knight of Wands popped out when I was shuffling. You then have this Two of Pentacles, which is about going back and forth on something, deciding between two pentacles, between two options, between two wands, between two opportunities. And I do think that this is a very cut and dry, very clear message for many of you here. I think some of you are really taking into consideration the people that are attached to each opportunity. And then I also think some of you are really also considering the money that is attached to each opportunity. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at these three Kipper cards here. So you have Adjudication, Lovers, Main Male. All right, so interesting. So this is not a love reading, but I almost feel like some of you are deciding on, okay, so the Judgment card here is sort of like, I'm thinking like, the Adjudication card. I'm thinking like a ruling coming down. This is a ruling that you are making in your life, and I think that you're going to choose the path that you love in your life, right? And take a look here. Two people, two doves, right? There's this idea of two choices in your life. You do have this Main Male card. I think this could be you. I don't attach gender to my cards. These are just energies that I read. And so, queen, king, main male, main female, page, doesn't matter. I just read energies. And so it could be you because you're the protagonist here. But I also think that the people aspect of this choice is very important. Let's go ahead and start to clarify. If you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. So you have the Two of Cups, you have the World. I laugh because you have the Two of Cups. You have the Emperor, you have the Death card again, you have the Queen of Wands, and the Fool. So wow, I have to say, these readings recently, over the past week, there's been so many synchronicities between the cards in these readings. It's pretty incredible, but all of the twos, right? I displayed to you. Well, we now have 3 twos, 2, 2, 2. It's one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite number, my favorite angel number numerology. But look, 2 cups, right? 2 people, 2 choices, 2 wands, 2 decisions, 2 pentacles, 2 paths, right? And this is what you're doing now. Another interesting synchronicity here is the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are counterparts. And so, yeah. So again, I think partnering up with somebody, again, in a business reading, the Two of Cups is about partnership. in your career and your financial life, or just you partnering with yourself or partnering with somebody. You're really diving deep here on which path is best for you. Have no fear with the World card. The World card says that you will complete this cycle. Like, you will make the right choice no matter what. The worst thing that you could do is not make a choice at all. I need to really drill that point home. The worst choice you could make is no choice. The World says you will complete something. The Fool says you will start a new cycle. The Fool is number 0. It starts the Fool's journey or the hero's journey to the World. Once the Fool gets to the World, it starts over, right? So this is one cycle closing, but then it's the Fool coming back in, another cycle coming back in. So you have this here. So you are starting a new cycle. The Emperor is a leader, but it's big boss energy, and it's a really good omen of success in business. So you're really going to step it up here and make a healthy choice. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.